more teams secured conference championships as we've entered the month of May, with just 6 episodes left before the summer. Hello and welcome back to Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. We have some exciting coverage in boys and girls lacrosse, including a couple of close games and a regular season conference winner. Let's start with the Neuqua boys taking on Naperville North.
Neuqua Valley Boys Lacrosse takes on Naperville North in a big DVC matchup. The Wildcats are 2-0 in DVC action with victories against the Valley and Naperville Central. The Huskies are also 2-0 in the DVC with victories over the same two opponents. The Huskies hold an early lead and look to add to the total. Dylan Kyman applies the pressure on Cats goalie Brady Elliott. Kyman knocks the ball free and recovers the ground ball before finding Jacob Springer for the score as the Huskies lead 2-0. Early on, both teams play very tough defense as the offense has to work hard to find the net. In space, Jonah Frank dodges his defender before finding Benjamin Stefanski for the goal to tie the game at 2-2. After the early 2-0 deficit, Neuqua's offense goes on a 5-0 run. Frank runs behind the goal before breaking down his defender as he runs to the other side and jumps in front of the goal for the score. The Cats lead 6-2 going into the second quarter. 3 minutes into the second quarter, Stefanski wins the faceoff and finds Will Beeman with a lot of room in front of him. Beeman's shot bounces past the Husky defense and finds the back of the net as Neuqua is on a 9-0 run. Stefanski also sets a new school record for most faceoffs won. Needing to put an end to the Neuqua scoring spree, North's Miller Camp speeds past his defender and sneaks his shot past the goalie for the much-needed Husky score. Despite the goal from North, the scoring continues for Neuqua with the first half winding down. Stefanski passes to Frank, who steps into his shot, getting it to roll past 2 North defenders for the score. At the end of the first half, Neuqua Valley leads 11-3. Early in the third quarter, North looking to climb back into this one. Springer throws it to Logan Francoeur for the point. North leads 11-4. Throughout the quarter, the Huskies turn up the intensity as they continue to cut into the lead. Springer finds Kyman through the Neuqua defense for the score. The lead is cut in half as Neuqua leads 12-6 with less than a minute remaining in the third. Looking to close the quarter out strong, Jonathan Ostendorf speeds down the field before finding Julian Silva, who scores through the contact. The Wildcats lead 13-6 going into the fourth. A minute into the final quarter, the Cats offense looks to keep the scoring going as Frank buries another shot past the Husky defense. Moments later, North gets the stop on the defensive end and looks to score quickly. Frank checks Griffin Georgievic and recovers the ground ball. Frank attacks the Husky defense and gets his 4th goal of the night. Neuqua Valley gets the conference victory over Naperville North 15-6 to finish the DVC regular season with a perfect 3-0 record.
The Naperville North Huskies take on Neuqua Valley in this DVC girls lacrosse matchup. North looks to stay undefeated in conference play at 2-0, while Neuqua Valley seeks its first DVC win. The Huskies come in riding a 2-game winning streak after defeating the Wheaton-Warrenville Co-op 13-6, while Neuqua hopes to bounce back after a tough loss to Lockport. Just 15 seconds in, Eloise Malley scores the opening goal for the Huskies. Kenzie Waddles keeps the momentum going. After a battle with Neuqua goalie Brooke Kirchner, Waddles cashes in to put North up 2-0. Marion Giese goes the distance and finds senior Helena Siska, who fires from the left wing for her first goal of the night. Huskies lead 3-0. Still in the first, North's offense continues to dominate. The trio of Giese, Edie Keene, and Malley connects, with Malley unleashing a rocket. It's 6-0 Huskies. Neuqua Valley tries to stop the bleeding. Junior Kaylee Gilmartin goes coast to coast and nets the Wildcats' first goal with 3 minutes left in the first. Off a loose ball, Malley picks it up and finds Bridget Battaglia, who sets up Giese for the low finish. Huskies lead 7-1 after the first quarter. Opening the second, Nequa's Addison Tidro sinks a free position shot to cut into the deficit. Wildcats now trail by 5. Nequa keeps pushing. Aubrey Frank capitalizes on a friendly bounce from a free position shot, but the Huskies still holds a 5-goal advantage. Waddles responds for North, taking on the Wildcat goalie one-on-one and scoring just before halftime. North now leads 9-3 at the break. Helena Siska picks up a loose ball and flips it to Giese, who nets another goal to complete her own hat trick. North leads 12-3, heading to the fourth, shutting out Nequa in the third quarter. Early in the fourth, North's Rachel Williamson drives it home for her first career varsity goal. The celebration is on as the Huskies lead by 10. Nequa finds the net again, this time thanks to senior Mia Pulaski. The Huskies keep pouring it on. Edie Keene connects with Siska, who pegs the lower right corner for her hat trick. 8 different Huskies find the score sheet as Naperville North rolls to a 17-4 win, improving to 3-0 in DVC play.
We got some boys lacrosse as Naperville Central takes the field hosting the Valley while looking for their first conference win of the season. The Warriors are also hoping to nab conference win number 1 while eager to put behind an 8-game losing streak. The Redhawks start their attack right away with Grayson Hale shooting a long overhand shot that goes in for the opening goal. Back comes Central and Jack Schwartz, who nearly loses his balance, but regains focus and bounces it in for a 2-0 lead. The Valley gets 2 straight goals, and here's that second one thanks to a heads-up play by Logan Rayrau, and this game is even at 2. Central doesn't blink, and neither does Patrick Cannon, who shows a beautiful sidearm goal, and the Redhawks jump back in front at 3-2. However, the Valley gets one back with Rayrau scoring his second goal of the game, and they trail 4-3 after 1. The scoring fest remains in check for Central. Cannon is looking for a teammate to pass the ball to, but he'll do it himself and displays his own cannon, and it's a 7-3 advantage for the Redhawks. Former defensive lineman Jake Stanish scoops up the loose ball and begins his transition. He's taken his talents to Vanderbilt this fall, but for now, he's helping out the lacrosse team, which includes firing in a bouncer of a goal. Then Declan Burke fights off his defender before shooting a laser into the back of the net, and the Redhawks hold their largest lead of the game at 10-4. The Valley becomes a new team in the second half as Jacob Cullen hits the right side of the net, and the Valley is down 10-5. Cullen gets a rally going for the visitors, and it shows with an aggressive sidearm shot. They continue to pass the ball around the zone until Brock Culberson underhands this shot into the back of the net. A quick 3-0 run for the Warriors makes it an 11-8 deficit. Redhawks get a much-needed goal in the fourth quarter with James Bergardi to keep their lead at 3. Warriors don't quit, and neither will Chris Veal, who fires in a dart, and this 5-2 run for the Valley has them down 12-10. The Redhawks are too much to handle all game long, and Broden Oswald connects on a late goal to seal the deal. Naperville Central picks up its first conference win with a 13-10 win over the Valley. It's time for some baseball action at Bennett Academy. as the Red Wings face off against the Huskies of Naperville North in a non-conference showdown on a chilly Friday afternoon. Both teams are coming off conference series wins this week. Pitching for Bennett is Quinn Rooney, and in the first inning he gets a punch-out on Husky Sam Steele. From the mound to the plate, Rooney hits a single on a ground ball and manages to make it to first base safely. Up next is Josh Gregora, who hits a grounder where a double play comes into effect, keeping it all zeros after one. In the bottom of the second, Bennett's Luke Wilds hits to the outfield, but Husky Max Steele dives in for the catch out in center. What a catch by Steele. Back at bat is Rooney in the third inning. He hits a fly ball to right field that Sam Steele can't catch this time, so Rooney runs to second base for a double. With 2 outs for Bennett, Gregora hits the ball to center field, and Max Steele says, "I got your back, brother Sam." Game is still scoreless after 3. In the fourth inning, Husky Trey Stade sends his ball to center, where a Red Wing collision nearly happens with Gregora catching the ball. Charlie Madzinski tags up and beats the throw home just in time, and the Huskies capture the first run of the game, up 1-0. Going to the fifth inning, Max Steele hits a grounder but falls to victim of a double play, with Carson Ebeling, Nate Siraki, and Johnny Rossi connecting on the 6-4-3 to send Steele and Matt Sonnenschein back to the dugout. In the seventh inning, Lucas Kohlmeyer gets a huge punch-out on Lawton Close, closing it out and giving Bennett life heading into the bottom of the frame. Rooney is back at bat in the bottom of the seventh. He hits a line drive to right field for an in-play double that sends Merrick Sullivan and Nico Schaefer to home plate, putting the Red Wings on the board, and that's a walk-off winner. The Wings are full of joy, celebrating with a victory dunk after the 2-1 win over the Huskies.
Waubonsie Valley football alum Harper Cole had a lifelong dream of playing for the Arkansas Razorbacks. With his family deeply rooted in the state, it was either Arkansas or nothing. When we return, we'll have more on Cole's gridiron journey since leaving Waubonsie.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
The import tariff is here, but at Fair Oaks Ford, we'll help you beat the tariff with a large selection of American-made in-stock vehicles right now. For a limited time, lock in pre-tariff pricing on select new Ford models and save thousands. From America, for America. And right now, we're offering employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Now that's what we call fair. Don't miss your chance to beat the tariff at Fair Oaks Ford in Naperville.
Waubonsie football alum Harper Cole worked tirelessly as a walk-on to earn playing time for the Arkansas Razorbacks. His hard work paid off in the spring of 2022, and he has now made a homecoming coaching at the University of Illinois. Let's hear from Cole and what he's been up to for our latest Where Are They Now, presented by Gross Sports Psychology. Harper Cole was a 3-year varsity letter winner for Waubonsie Valley football. As a starting wide receiver and defensive back, he played a major part in leading the Warriors to a 7-4 record and a first-round upset over Bolingbrook in 2018. Despite his athletic talent and production for the Warriors, few college recruiters came knocking for the 5'9" pass catcher. Despite the obstacles, Harper remains laser-focused on pursuing his dream school.
Number 5, Harper Cole. I had a couple smaller offers, some D3 schools. I grew up a really, really big Arkansas fan. My whole family's from there, so that was always kind of my dream, was to go over there and play.
With his family roots from Arkansas, Cole had a lifelong dream of playing for the Razorbacks. Even without a scholarship, he was determined to one day wear an Arkansas uniform, hoping for a shot at a walk-on opportunity.
I had gone to camp up there my junior year and had a personal connection with one of the coaches up there, and just basically kind of reached out after my senior year and just said that, that I would do anything to get a chance to play up there, and was fortunate enough they were kind of willing to give me an opportunity.
Cole worked tirelessly as a walk-on during his first 2 seasons, eventually seeing action in 7 games. The dedication paid off in the spring of 2022 when Razorback coaches recognized his commitment and awarded him a full scholarship.
Special moment for sure. Really, really fortunate. Coach Pittman, was a guy who was kind of always fighting for me, and I think he just knew how much I loved the program in general.
Cole's role expanded later that fall, appearing in 12 games, and during the Liberty Bowl against Kansas, he made his first career reception and recovered a fumble on a kickoff.
My last game, my whole family had come down to, and we ended up winning a crazy overtime game, and that was really cool. I got a chance to start on offense.
Cole spent his final year at Arkansas as a student assistant coach before graduating with a degree in business management in 2023. Cole then spent 2 years coaching at Texas Christian University. This spring, he marked a homecoming, accepting a position as an offensive skill and special teams coach at the University of Illinois.
I've lived in the state, and I think there's really, really good players in the state, and I want to do everything I can to help you guys keep those people at Illinois, because I think if we can do that, we're going to win a bunch of football games, and that's kind of what they've done.
Illinois and head coach Brett Bielema is building on its first 10-win season since 2001, and Cole joins an Illinois team with high expectations. As the Waubonsie alum continues his coaching career, he aims to leave a lasting impact on every athlete he coaches.
The most rewarding piece is getting to sit down with the kid and, try and teach. And, I love that aspect of coaching, like sitting down and trying to explain, how we want to do things, why we do it a certain way. That's kind of the art of coaching to me.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy. After the break, let's rally up and head over to some boys volleyball coverage, first with Bennett taking on Metea Valley.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
We are in Mustang country at Metea Valley for a boys volleyball matchup as the Mustangs host Bennett Academy. Metea is coming off a 2-set win over Naperville North, while the Red Wings fell to Marist earlier this week. Bennett grabs an early 2-1 lead in the opening set before Rudra Patel ties the score after a strong spike for the Mustangs. The Red Wings, however, build momentum as Aris Maroukas hammers a kill past the Mustang defense for a Red Wing point. Maroukas then receives the serve and sets up Reed Heffley, who connects with Shane Walsh for a big spike, extending Bennett's lead to 9-3. A few points later, Joseph Tirico serves up an ace, and the Red Wings take full control, leading 14-5. Metea Valley tries to stay within reach, with Rudra Patel delivering another solid kill, but the Mustangs still trail by 8. Later, Reed Heffley adds another kill, pushing Bennett further ahead. The Mustangs respond with Om Patel setting up Ryan Da Silva for a strong kill, but Bennett maintains the edge. Bennett reaches set point as Jacob Olejnik passes to Vincent Cabay, who finishes the first set with a kill. The Red Wings win it convincingly, 25-12. Into the second set, Metea comes out strong. Ryan Da Silva slams a kill to get the Mustangs on the board first. Shriyan Batula follows that up with an ace, helping Mattia build a 4-0 lead. The Mustangs keep the pressure on as Nathan Vertine smashes a kill off the Bennett wall for another point. Om Kota adds to the surge with a spike, making it 9-5 Mattia Valley. However, Bennett settles in and storms back. Olenek sets up Kabe for the kill, giving the Red Wings their first lead of the set at 13-12. Marukas then steps up to deliver another big point to keep Bennett ahead, leading 16-15. Ryan Pisak steps to the line and delivers a clutch ace for the Red Wings. Moments later, Olenek follows with another ace, helping Bennett pull away at 20-16. Mattia Valley keeps fighting, with Batula landing a late kill, but Bennett Academy closes it out, taking the second set 25-19. They sweep the match in 2 sets.
Nico Valley Boys Volleyball looks to defend home court against DVC rivals Waubonsie Valley. So far this season, Nico Valley has a 15-5 record, while starting the year 1-1 in DVC action. Waubonsie Valley is 9-11 overall, but is off to a hot start at 3-0 in DVC play. The Warriors look to get things started as Michael Johnson goes on the attack, but the Wildcats keep the volley going. The Warriors get the block on the Wildcats, however, the Wildcats keep the ball in play until Waubonsie's Pitari Ivanov gets another block for the first score of the game. The Cats keep the ball in play after the Waubonsie kill attempt. Vishwak Narmreddy sets up Chase Marston, who gets just enough on his shot to get through the block to tie the game up at 2-2. Moments later, after the Warriors serve, Waubonsie gets not 1, but 2 blocks on this possession to go up 5-3. Harish Krishman is involved in both blocks for the visitors. Colin Lowerke serves to the blue and gold. Lowerke's ace results in the quick points for the Cats as they trail 8-6. Early on, neither team was able to establish a lead larger than 2 points. Keeping that trend going, Dhruva Jasti assists Blake Thompson, who gets the spike for the score to tie the game at 10. Nearing the end of the first set, both teams keep going back and forth to keep the ball within play. Johnson puts an end to the back and forth as he taps it over the Nico front line for the score. Waubonsie goes on to win the first set, 25-22. At the beginning of the second set, Naram Reddy starting off with a strong serve, resulting in a quick point for the Wildcats. The Cats keep the play alive after the block as they return it back to the Warriors. Owen Petranik sets the ball over to AJ Kalur for the point for the green and gold as they lead 6-5. Moments later, Nico looks to regain momentum as Noah Cullen goes on the attack. However, Waubonsie is able to keep the play going. Naram Reddy goes up high for the kill as Nico trails 8-6. Tied at 10-10 later in the set, Dean Javier dives to the ground and gets just enough on it to keep it in play for the Wildcats as he sends it over the net. Kalor gets just enough on his shot despite the Wildcat block attempt to secure the point for the Warriors. Waubonsie leads 11-10. The green and gold look to break the tie as Ivanov goes up for the spike, which the Wildcats are unable to return. A team high 8 kills for Ivanov. Waubonsie leads 12-11. Nearing the end of the second set, Michael Johnson and Soham Dongre get the block on the Wildcat kill attempt for the score. Following a Nico service error, Waubonsie Valley wins both sets 25-22 as they move to 4-0 in the DVC after the 2-set victory against Nico Valley.
Bennett's Quinn Rooney enjoyed a 3-for-4 day at the plate against Naperville North, including this game-winning walk-off double. The Red Wings are down by 1 with no outs in the bottom of the 7th and runners on first and second. Rooney lasers one deep over the right fielder's head and into the corner. It sends Dominic Tomala into tie, and Merrick Sullivan crosses the plate for the walk-off winner. Let's see this one again, as Bennett allowed just 2 hits all game, but still trailed 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Rooney ends a terrific day at the plate to go along with 6 strikeouts across 2 innings on the mound. Coming up next, let's wrap up this week's show with some boys tennis. North and Waubonsie met up in Warrior territory with first place on the line.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
The import tariff is here, but at Fair Oaks Ford, we'll help you beat the tariff with a large selection of American-made in-stock vehicles right now. For a limited time, lock in pre-tariff pricing on select new Ford models and save thousands. From America, for America. And right now, we're offering employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Now that's what we call fair. Don't miss your chance to beat the tariff at Fair Oaks Ford in Naperville.
The tennis balls are out for an exciting matchup as DVC leading and undefeated Waubonsie Valley welcomes Naperville North. The Huskies look to keep up with the Warriors in the conference, sitting at 2-1 after a loss to Metea Valley. The one singles showdown features North's Ritvi Korapari and Warrior Hector Diaz. Diaz wastes no time navigating around the court and puts the ball out of the opponent's reach for the point. Diaz stays aggressive and takes care of Korapati in straight sets by scores of 6-0 and 6-1. In the 2 singles, Waubonsie sends Samaya Tayol against Yensin Liu. Early on, it's Liu with the momentum as Tayol can't get the send back to go. Tayol resets and takes control of the match, making it difficult for Liu. Tayol and Liu get a rally going, but Liu hits the ball too hard and it goes out of bounds. Tayol wins in straight sets as the Warriors sweep all singles. Warriors keep their groove going in the 4 doubles as Kala Shashin and Prathuman Gunya get a point over Rona Q and Anderson Karkanen. Station and Gunya also sweep their way to a victory, and they celebrate the win in style. Waubonsie hopes to keep the momentum going in the 2 doubles as Krish Dave and Kevin Sivapunyam strike first on Noah Yoon and Ayush Putnambecker. The Husky pair turns it around as the quick send-back bounces off the opposing racket. Yoon and Putnam-Becker keep it together in a marathon of 3 sets and takes the cake in 2 doubles. Both Waubonsie and North split the doubles pair. The 1 doubles features Dub V, Ishan Suresh Kumar, and Revanth Kathapali battling Arush Bardwaj and Aaron Yang. Suresh Kumar helps out the cause by putting his set back on the spot and out of the opponent's reach for the point. Suresh and Kathapali take the showdown via sweep, and Waubonsie Valley picks up another conference win, 5-2 over Naperville North.
With a 10-3 record, Neuqua Valley girls soccer has already reached its highest win total since 2019. Forward Safa Jeffrey helps lead the Wildcats past rivals Waubonsie Valley with a great play from just inside the box. Sydney Michaelik throws it to Addison Gusky, who breaks free and sends a nice pass to Jeffrey. She brings it down with her chest, fires low, and scores to extend the Wildcats' lead to 2-0 at halftime. Let's slow it down for one more look. It's a perfect arcing pass from Gusky, and the touch and finish is just as good from Jeffrey. That closes out another episode of NSW Season 18, and just 5 more episodes remain before the awards show on June 16th. Our first state series of the spring gets underway next week. You can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and we'll see you again next week.